like I will be honest, when I came here, since just like last few weeks, the I always thought like the down payment you need is at least 20% for your home buying. And that was the concept. Like I thought, okay, this is real. I have to now save 20% for the down payment. Like, is this true? I just recently got to know, no, you can actually buy the home with the less than 20%. Like, why do you think like this is common in the field, and how much you can pay less actually?
So to go over the general guidelines of the minimum down payments required, for anything up to $500,000, the minimum down payment would be 5%. Between 500,000 and just under $1 million would be 5% on the first 500,000. So essentially 25,000 on the first 500,000, and then 10% on the portion between 500 and $1 million. And then over $1 million, it's going to be 20% or greater.
Okay.
And there's a couple things to note here is that if you're paying less than a 20% down payment, that's going to be called an insured mortgage. And so what an insured mortgage is, you actually have to pay for mortgage insurance. So what mortgage insurance is essentially it's protecting the lender, so the bank or the credit union or whoever lends you that money, in the case that you default on your loan, which means you don't make your payments, they can then recapture that property for you and try to sell it to make up, the difference in what that mortgage amount was. So it's really protecting, but that insurance is actually protecting the lender and not you. Because on their end, they have to make a profit. And if you stop paying, there's no profit for them. And the only way for them to make that up is to recapture the home and sell it.
Got it.
So one of the things that people, I guess, aren't always aware of, as you mentioned, is that you can purchase a home with less than a 20% down payment. Now, this isn't an option for everyone, and we'll get into this with, immigrants, people who don't have their PR, that don't have their citizenship, is things are a little bit different for them, a little bit more difficult, but there are still options. Now, I do want to make a disclaimer here is that I am not a mortgage professional. I do have quite a bit of knowledge in that field, but they're definitely going to be the best people to talk about the nuances, the specifics of your unique situation, but I can definitely go over some of the general guidelines. And now one of those also being that if you're self-employed, sometimes you don't have the ability to use these exact guidelines. So a lot of times they may want you to have at least a 10% down payment. Again, it's case by case, but someone with a full-time salary job, they can kind of utilize more of that spectrum of the between 5 and 20%.
So there are definitely options like you can pay less than 20%, but there's so many factors affecting on it. All right. So Alex, this conversation, I really just want to target to the first-time home buyers in Canada. Like maybe they are just residing here, or they are PR, as you mentioned, or they are citizen. But there are some of the things like they should be know of, or maybe there are might be things there in the outside like they should be aware of before they buy their first property. So to begin with, I was like having this conversation with my friend, and I don't know if it's true. Then again, like I just want to talk with you about that. He mentioned that you shouldn't buy a car or maybe a big purchase before the closing of your property, or before even thinking about buying a property. Like, is this true, or like how so?
Yes. So that kind of comes down to when you go to get pre-approved for a mortgage to find out how much you qualify for, what they're looking at is a mixture of things. So it's your level of income, your type of employment, how much debt you have, your credit score, and then even the amount of years that you've been at your work, or if you're past that probation period, which is going to be different for everyone. But if you are making a major purchase on a car, or if you're going to be financing that car, meaning you're having monthly payments, that's going to decrease the amount of a mortgage you can qualify for. Now, again, both of us being from cities with very high prices, that's typically, aside from saving that down payment, being able to qualify for enough is the biggest concern. So if you're taken away from your ability to qualify, it's not that you can't get a mortgage, but you can't get a big enough mortgage. So again, some very general guidelines, like take this with a grain of salt, but for every $400 a month car payment, you lose roughly $100,000 in mortgage money.
Wow.
Which is significant, right? Especially in the markets that we're living in.
Yeah.
It's already difficult enough. And if you're taking that away from yourself, it's going to be very, very difficult to make that purchase.
I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, like specifically in the cities like we're living in, just 400 payment and you're gonna reduce amount of by 100,000. And even to begin with, like you are getting the home, like if I correct, like in this market, you are just gonna get it home, just starting price gonna be just 400 or 500,000, and then you start looking after that. So this is definitely a good point for first time buyers to prevent themselves from buying a big purchase.